So already we have discussed about radio resource management and a medium access control layer as well as RLC layer. Today we will have a brief study about the mobility management. So this mobility management is functions are in two groups. We categorize the functions in two groups, that is mobility within the LTE system, that is intra LTE mobility, and also this mobility to the other systems, we will call it as inter-RAT mobility, that is nothing but non 3GPP system. For example, we will tell this is used in the UMTS. Okay. Now coming to this here, intra LTE mobility. Actually what it will happen? This will happen over the SI interface or X2 interface. Here we are focusing two interfaces in the mobility management system. So whenever the user equipment moves from one E node B to another E node B within the same radio access network. Okay, and also the condition is the same radio access network should attach to the same mobility management entity. That time we are using the X2 interface will be taking place. Before going into the deep discussion of this type, and if you come to the inter-RAT mobility, that inter-RAT mobility will use SI mobility, and the only one difference is that in this case, that SI mobility case, we will use the PDCP contest. Okay, and it is not continued. The user equipment needs to re-establish this session. So first we will see the SI mobility. In the SI mobility, there are three phases: the preparation phase, execution phase, as well as the completion phase. So before seeing the functions of or what are the things happening in the SI mobility in all these three phases, let us see the diagrammatic representation for this. So in this diagrammatic representation, it consists of user equipment, source E node B, target E node B, then source mobility management entity, target mobility management entity. And here it is discussed. These are the preparation phase, and here it is the execution phase, and this is the completion phase. Now we will see what is happening in the preparation phase. Okay, in the preparation phase, once handover decision has made, okay, then we need to identify the target mobility management and E node B. Okay, once we identify these two cases, then the network will allocate the resources on the target side. See here, the handover request from the source E node B is given to the source mobility management entity. Okay, so this mobility management entity sends the handover request to the target mobility management, then forwarding this here. Okay, understood? What request it will send in the sense that is to set up the appropriate resources for the user equipment. Once the resources have been allocated at target E node B, then it will send a handover request acknowledgement to the mobility management entity. Okay, the resource setup has been done. See here, from here handover request has come to target E node B. After that, the resource setup has done. Then the handover request acknowledgement is given to the target mobility management. So requisition, then setup, then acknowledgement. All this process is happening in the preparation phase. Then coming to the execution phase. User equipment, in the execution phase, what will happen? The source is sending one handover command. Okay, in the execution phase, the user equipment will receive the handover command. Okay, and the user equipment will start to respond accordingly the command. Once user equipment performs the handover, source node EB, see the source node EB initiate the status transfer. Okay, and this E node B forward the data stored in the PDCP buffer to target E node B. See status. The diagrammatic is very clear. Okay, Now user equipment is able to establish the random radio access mirror on target E node B. Okay, so now handover confirm message to the target E node B has been given. See, from the user equipment, handover confirm message is given to the target E node B. Then we will come to the completion phase. See, in the completion phase, the handover notification is giving to the target MME and the forward real localities completion, that acknowledgement is given to the source mobility management entity, and also the resource release process is happened in the completion. So we are doing all this process to release the resource at the completion process of all the status, handover command, handover request, all those things. Finally resource has been released to the source node EB. Okay, and followed by this we will see the these all are execution phase which has happened in the random access channel, and that is the status transfer where the PDCP context of the user equipment is transferred to the target E node B. Then we will see the completion phase. Okay, the resource has been released. Then mobility over the X2 interface. It is the default mode of operation in long-term evolution, and we see the diagrammatic representation. Here also the same thing, user equipment, source node E node B, target E node B, and mobility manager. Here SGW gateway we are using. Let us see one by one. In the preparation mode, here the handover section decision will be made by the source E node B. Okay, and it send a handover request to the target E node B. Okay, and the receipt of this message will work with the second gateway to set up the resources for the user equipment. So in the diagram we have seen here in the preparation mode. Now in the execution mode we are sending one acknowledgement. Handover request acknowledgement is sending to the source E node B. From the source node B, the handover command is given to the user equipment. Then coming to the then again from the source E node B, the status transfer is given to target E node B. Then the random access process has been established there. Then in the completion mode, handover confirmation signal is given to the target E node B. Then the path switch. Path switches is the new thing we are introducing in the X2 interface here, using the mobility management entity and the gateway. Okay, after that this gateway is giving one acknowledgement to release the resources. Once the target E node B accepts or receives the acknowledgement from the gateway, then the resources will be released. Okay, this is done on a per radio RAB basis for the user equipment. Hope that completion process is nothing but user equipment completes the handover procedure. It sends a handoff complete message to the target E node B, as we have seen in the diagrammatic representation, and the target E node B send a path switch request to the mobility management SGW. Therefore that GTP tunnel from the source E node B to the target E node B. Okay, when the data plate in the user plane is switched, the target E node B sent a message to the source E node B to release the resources originally used by the user equipment. Hope everybody has understood the mobility management, how the handover request is released, how the handover request is raised and acknowledgement, then status transfer, then random access channel procedures, and how the resource allocation has been released to the particular thing. So hope everybody has understood this, and thank you all.